difficulty of walking up the mountain. The Adidas he had just bought were about to break. To prove his worth, Jonathan suddenly had an idea. The next day he took his servant to the mountain. He picked up a stone from the ground. He followed the instructions in his magic book and began to recite a spell on the stone. But nothing happened. He let out a breath of immortal air and tried the spell again. But after a few hours, the stone still didn't change. He threw down the stone in anger. Then he turned around and left. But the stone suddenly split in two as it shook. Then the whole mountain shook. The two men turned around. They saw countless rocks bursting out of the mountain. Then it automatically converged into a road that stretched along the mountainside, thousands of kilometers away. Soon the soldiers were on a smooth road. The general was so pleased that he named Jonathan Merlin Mage. But what Jonathan didn't expect was that the general seemed to think he was omnipotent. He asked him to move an entire forest. But Jonathan said that forests are not rocks. They have their own consciousness, and it's not easy to move them. But the general was adamant. Jonathan had no choice but to comply. So the next day he was led by his soldiers to the oldest tree in the forest, because he was going to negotiate with it to move.